exactly what's going to happen. Don't go anywhere. The action starts next.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get, oh man, we're on TV. Hey, it's Steve Anthony, Scott Storm, we're the SNS Express. And I tell you what, baby, we're looking just a little bit light around the waist right now, and that's because the fat boys, oh, cowboys, have got our straps. But I wasn't here. That's all right, I'm back. He's ready to roll, I'm ready to roll, and guess what? There's nothing stopping us. Because hey, when we're down, we got one thing you don't have. We got each and every one of the fans backing us, baby, because they just love the SNS Express.
The time has finally arrived. The moment you've all been waiting for. A touch of class has come to the armpit of America, Greenville, Mississippi. NWA, New South, Tag Team Champions, Singles Champions, it doesn't matter to us. I've heard that this is where it is. This is the town where it's all about. Wrestling at its purest. Wrestling as a tradition. Well, tradition means nothing to us because I, Gentleman Jim, introduced to you a new brand of tag team wrestling. My boys, Criminal Intent, Kelly Charles, Mean Gene. We didn't come here to play, we're here to stay.
Ladies and gentlemen, making their way to the ring, accompanied by their manager, Gentleman Jim, from the state of Kentucky at a total combined weight of 421 pounds, Criminal Intent. Ladies and gentlemen, making their way to the ring at a total combined weight of 458 pounds, the team of Steve Anthony and Scott Storm, the S&S Express. Blown off this place, Hollywood Palace, man. You hear the reaction to the SNS Express, and they are back in tag team competition. Steve Anthony has been on the show for the last couple of months with injuries that have plagued him, but boy, is it good to see the SNS Express back in full service here tonight, here today on WXBT. Man, the former two-time Southern Tag Team Champions, they look good. And they are going to start to climb that mountain again to get a shot at the Texans and the Southern Tag Team Belts. But Gentleman Jim and his Kentucky natives here, Mean Gene and Kelly Charles, Criminal Intent, these guys definitely want to come in here and pick up a big win on their New South Wrestling debut.
Give me a microphone.
Shut up! Hey, you want to hear Brad Redneck speak? Shut your mouth right now. Don't you people realize one thing? When we walked out here, you are now officially in the presence of greatness. We have wrestled in front of thousands and thousands of people at the Orange Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Rose Bowl. But in our illustrious career, this simply has to be the low point in our wrestling career. Because tonight, of all nights, you know where we're stuck? Smack dab in the middle
the strong words from Gentleman Jim, along with his tag team of Criminal Intent. They're talking about Greenville being the armpit of America, the toilet bowl. What kind of comments are those when you got competition like former Southern Tag Team Champions Steve Anthony and Scott Storm, the S&S Express? I'm telling you, they don't come any bigger and better. And if you want to compete in the NWA and get a shot at some of the most prestigious tag team titles, you got to get in the ring in New South Wrestling. It's just the way it is, as we are the host company for the Southern Tag Team titles. And come on, these guys just wasted time out here. S&S Express, these gentlemen, they're not about talking. They don't need to. They get it done in the ring. Like I said, the S&S Express, former two-time Southern Tag Team Champions, know what it's like to be there. And they're not complaining about the titles. They're not complaining about losing them, although Steve Anthony wasn't able to compete. They're not complaining about that. Steve Anthony, there he goes. The veteran, 13 plus years of professional wrestler. And there you go, look at the king of the 450 splash, showing off that physique that he has worked so hard for over the years. And there you go, Steve Anthony, S&S Express. Man, I'll tell you, it doesn't get any bigger and better than this. You want to talk about NWA New South in Greenville, Mississippi? Well, let's see you defeat the S&S Express before you can run your mouth. And Mean Gene in the ring now. Collar and elbow tie up, Steve Anthony. The king of the 450 now, the receiver of a wrist lock. Steve Anthony in a bad way here. There's an undercut. Works on the arm. He's wrenching it out. Oh my. There's a wrist lock applied by Mean Gene. He is out on his feet, going everywhere. Oh my, fired and scary takedown. Nice wrestling from Mean Gene. I'm impressed by the Mount Sterling, Kentucky native. And Steve Anthony, despite several months on the shelf with plaguing back and neck injuries, he looks really good out there. He might have a little ring rust, as you see. Drop toe hold, he takes it down into a side headlock. Steve Anthony has gained control of the match. Of course, there you see Gentleman Jim with the bleached blonde, almost cotton top hair on the floor. Kelly Charles on the ring apron, the partner of Mean Gene in this Criminal Intent tag team. It's a fire and scary takedown, and Mean Gene is going to the corner. And he bit off a little more than he could chew with the king of the 450 splash. Oh my. Oh my goodness. And there's a tag to Scott Storm. Oh, let me tell you something. He has been waiting for his partner to return. And down he goes. Now this is vintage S&S Express here. Boot to the midsection. Mean Gene in trouble. Russian leg sweep, he goes down. And now the S&S Express is Scott Storm. Wrist lock applied. Former Cruiserweight champion himself. Two-time Southern Tag Team champion. And there's a tag in. Double Irish whip. Kelly Charles comes in. There's a dunk under the double clothesline. Oh my! Scott Storm takes him down. Down they go. And he goes up. Whoa! Steve Anthony is crashing into him. Nice agility there from the two former Cruiserweight champions. S&S Express. Listen to the crowd out here. Probably the most popular tag team in the NWA. Boy, do they look good. They definitely have what it takes in the ring. And now this crowd making a lot of noise for the S&S Express. Gentleman Jim and his troops don't look like they're doing too good right now. I don't know if the confidence level has reached a low or what. As the larger man on the team here, Kelly Charles, steps back in the ring. Collar and elbow tie up. The king of the 450, Steve Anthony and Kelly Charles. And Kelly Charles with a little size and weight advantage there. But I'd say physique-wise, Steve Anthony pretty solid, has about the same muscle mass. And Kelly Charles saying, I want Scott Storm in the ring, and you're gonna get him, because here comes the Frankfort, Kentucky native, one half of the S&S Express. Side headlock applied now. Scott Storm. He's in with the maneuver. Backs him into the rope, shoots him up into the rope. There's a block. Nice hip toss. Great maneuver. Duck under. Oh my, they're rocking him. They got Kelly Charles going every which way. Boy, where he lands, no one will know. There's an Irish whip now. And now, Mean Gene says, put Kelly Charles is at all he can take. And let's see what you got now, Criminal Intent. Welcome to the New South. And Mean Gene circling around. The king of the 450 has a worldwide reputation for that maneuver. If you're not familiar with what a 450 splash is, it is a complete 360 flip and another half into a splash. And boy, is it incredible to see. And there you go. The tag back into Kelly Charles. Nice arm drag. And I'll tell you what, Steve Anthony right on top of things. He took him right back down. He has regained control. That's what it's all about in this business. And there comes Scott Storm. One of the greatest young athletes in the sport of professional wrestling today, let me tell you. Scott Storm, also one of the most popular athletes to step foot in the Hollywood Palace. This young man from Frankfort, Kentucky. Oh my, back elbow. Scott Storm originally recruited from NWA Bluegrass in Kentucky to compete in the cruiserweight division here. Steve Anthony recruited from NWA Florida to compete in the cruiserweight division, and it somehow ended up with these men coming together to be the S&S Express. And Steve Anthony now, armbar, oh, there's a knee to the gut. I tell you what, it's hard to combat something like that. There's a scoop. Oh my goodness! What a power display shown from this Kelly Charles. I am impressed. And now he's targeting that back area, the former injured area of Steve Anthony. As oh, now they are going to work on him. Small of the back there. And he takes him down. Oh my goodness. Double A, eat your heart out. Kelly Charles with one of the most impressive spine busters I've seen in quite some time. Great ring presence, knowing where he is, and Kelly Charles really impressed me. With a big time maneuver right there. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, welcome to NWA New South Wrestling on WXPT. I'm your host, Joey Gray. As always, right here at ringside at the Palace, in the danger zone, if you will. And they're setting him up. Oh my goodness, the Demolisher. And he takes in that 1, 2. There's a kick out. Where this is coming from, and this capacity crowd at the Hollywood Palace is fired up with the return of the S&S Express, but it isn't looking good. Maybe Steve Anthony has a little too much ring rust. I don't know. Kelly Charles, look at this young man. And with a choke, so much impressive power from this man, and then he has to go to maneuvers like that. And now referee Billy Etheridge admonishing Kelly Charles as you see Mean Gene in the ring apron. Manager Gentleman Jim out there. There's a shot to the jaw. An Irish whip now. Steve Anthony off the rope. Sunset flip. Does he get him? Can we cut him up? He's got him rolled up. 1, 2. No. Nice lariat from Kelly Charles. There's a boot to the chest. Going back to work on him. I tell you what, Gentleman Jim has these guys in order today. Right here on WSBT. And now Steve Anthony in a world of trouble. He needs that tag to Scott Storm. But Gentleman Jim and company know that he needs that tag. And they're going to do what they got to do to cut him off. You can guarantee that. As you see Mean Gene and Gentleman Jim on the ring apron area. And Kelly Charles in the ring with the Irish whip now to Steve Anthony. He'll duck under the clothesline. There's a right hand. He's rocking it.
The king of the 450 firing back. An Irish whip reversal now. He sends him into the rope. There's a boot to the midsection. Oh my goodness, see a drop kick. And one half of the SNS Express goes back down a 2, and a kick out. Steve Anthony out the back door. And I'll tell you what, one half of Criminal Intent here, this Casey James, he is incredible. There's a tag in. Mean Gene steps back through the ropes. Well, he's the smaller half of this tag team, but just as devastating as his partner is. There was a shot into the rib cage. I'll tell you what, Steve Anthony, impeccable physical condition on this young man. The king of the 450 splash, as he is sent out to the floor there, and you gotta watch over the floor there, the manager, as Scott Storm trying once again to get back in the ring. He can't. Billy Anthony, you'll see the officials stopping him right there as Criminal Intent, creating a criminal act right here. And there you see Mean Gene with the referee's distraction, get his Casey out there on the floor, still working over the king of the 450. Steve Anthony back into vertical base now and dropped right back down. This is definitely a criminal act. These guys are running amok here in New South Wrestling. Knife edge shot now. Steve Anthony in such a bad way as this crowd right here in Greenville, Mississippi at the Hollywood Palace looks on in this match. Lateral press, look at the leg, 2 and a kick out. Billy Anthony, so move the 2 again. There you see Mean Gene in back with a reverse chin lock. Well applied, center of the ring. Great positioning there. I'll tell you what, this match is so important in the chase for the Southern Tag Team titles. You know the SNS Express would like nothing better to get back in that driver's seat, to get back in position for another title opportunity. But Criminal Intent, man, they come from everywhere. These guys coming from Kentucky. We've had some old feuds with Scott Storm in the past up there in the great state of Kentucky, and they chased him back down here with his partner Steve Anthony, as there's Steve Anthony now trying to get back into his feet with his crowd support. Repeating elbows to the breadbasket. And there you go, Mean Gene with a shot across the shoulders. That's all it takes. And Steve Anthony rocked back to the ropes. An Irish split now, a reversal. He's got him in. What do we have here? Belly to back into a power slam there. Steve Anthony with the opportunity of a lifetime now. Can he tag his partner? Scott Storm trying to get this crowd fired up for his partner. As you know, the SNS Express so popular in New South Wrestling. They work up that crowd's momentum. They use it to their advantage. And now Steve Anthony trying to claw his way, trying basically to figure out where his partner is in the first place. As there you see the tag to Casey James. And he rolls through now. Scott Storm in the ring. Boom, he knocks it down. He's taking a bolt on. Criminal Intent being taken out very easily here by a fresh Scott Storm. And I'll tell you what, this young man, a former Cruiserweight champion, as he is fired away at both these men. SNS Express doing what they are known best for now, tag team tandem wrestling, as they have Criminal Intent on the ropes. They've got him back in the corner, a double Irish whip, and he takes him down with a shoulder block. And Casey James left him here alone, into the midsection of Scott Storm. Steve Anthony up on the floor on the other side. That was incredible. He's got him up now. A reversal. He gets over him, and there he goes, blocking him into the ropes here. Is he going to get him rolled up? He's all rolled up. Scott Storm's got him, but the referee is not even in there. Oh my goodness, Gentleman Jim with a Singapore turn to the head. And now he's got the tights pulled. That should do it if Billy Anthony gets back in the ring. Wait a minute. Steve Anthony, full crescent kick right there to Casey James. And now, wait a minute. Scott Storm's got the cover. It's a count. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, the SNS Express with a huge victory to New South Wrestling over Kentucky's Criminal Intent. Man, and Gentleman Jim has no idea what's going on, but fans, this is huge. The SNS Express back together and back in the winner's circle. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. New South Wrestling is on fire. Gentlemen, that wraps up this week's edition of NWA New South on WXBT. Now remember, every week the action gets hotter and hotter, so don't you dare go anywhere. We'll see you next Saturday. Charles, look at this young man. In with a joke. So much impressive power from this man, and then he has to go to maneuvers like that.